Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene set within Odessa. At the top of the hill, facing Justinopolis Mount. Fumoshi and his compatriot Eirene have both gathered before this great mosque, once a huge cathedral for the Dominican faith, but for the past 6 or so decades has largely been a monument to Islam. In front of this mosque, there is a fairly large, how to say, courtyard. The front of the building, or rather the front of the building is paved. With elaborate stone architecture, as the stairs take you to the main entrance, and these very large, overbearing doors that at night are entirely closed, with two large braziers standing off at each side, well lit and lighting the way to the interior of the building, as there's a soft fiery glow emanating from the rims of the doors. And I presume the two are waiting there, kind of at the front of the building.
He's going to be sitting on the steps going up to the building, so the steps up to those great closed doors, and he's going to hold Irene's hand in his. It's partially because obviously she led him up here, so he wants to know where she is, but it's also he starts to sing in a low voice, in a very soft pallor at first. He has 6 successes on this, so by God, this is really good. God, I love that enchanting voice, Merritt. But he will essentially, he starts to sing a song basically talking about the night that angels came, the night that angels fell. And it's a song in Islam that's used to praise Muhammad and the Abrahamic. It's used to praise Muhammad and Allah. It's all about the fact that God is love, and no matter how far you stray from God, God will always welcome you home. It's it's a real song. It's called the 10 Stars of Kaleth, I think, or Kuletheth. I've heard it in real life, really pretty. But he is singing that, just waiting, because that seems like something this character would do.
I mean, if she recognizes the song, she might sing along. Not that she will get like fucking 6 successes. That would be insane. But still, I have that performance thing, so why not?
Roll the thing, Saskia. Harmonize.
I will roll the thing. What is it? Charisma or?
I use charisma.
Yeah. So technically, if I would get all the successes, I would have all the successes. But I mean, that is still 4 successes.
Wowzers.
Oh man, if you had a bowl art, people would be giving you money. In fact, probably people are still giving you money.
I mean, do they even know? No.
In fact, some of them actually might know who Eirene is, but you don't have any fame, do you? No, so people don't really know who you are. You're a noble recluse. Um, but I mean, I mean, Fumoshi has fame for. A lot of people know who he is.
He's that
Um,
he's that weird guy who came from the east. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
yeah, he's the renowned exorcist who traveled along the Silk Road. And no, people are literally leaving money for you. Mainly some of the more wealthy individuals that pass by. The poorer folk don't really give you anything, other than a scant few who kind of just spare you like a coin or something.
I mean,
Each.
if the rich people are giving us coin and there are poor people who are walking by, then the obvious thing to do, which I think that both of our characters agree to, is to hand the money out to the people who need it, the poor people.
It's good to see that you're taking money that people intended for you and giving it to people that didn't want to give it to you.
No, people that can't give.
What he'll probably do is at the end of the evening, if there's some money and if there's money that we have, we'll just give it to the mosque, and they generally have charities for the poor.
They do. That's an actual thing. There is a lot of alms for the poor.
But yeah, we will wait.
Yeah, you're kind of surrounded by like those large four spires on the overlay. This is really quite elaborate architecture, and looks like the building has undergone a lot of renovation.
The blind man appreciates this totally.
I mean, the blind man.
I think the only thing which would like tell him that there's like something tall and like, I don't want to use the term foreboding, but like tall and sort of dominant in front of him would be where it casts a shadow from the light, leaving the area around, like in the shadow, a little bit cooler.
Also, Irene will give detailed descriptions. Doll.
Tour guide Irene. There you go.
Yeah.
He does seem to really like listening to Irene. He's not very chatty in the sense that he'll answer questions, but he tends to like listening to people more than he likes talking.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, one of Irene's faults is definitely hogging the spotlight. So, she's more than happy to give him a detailed description of what it looks like, where they are, and what she knows of its history and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you sat there singing and collecting money that will be used as alms for the poor for the time being, as your melody softly floats through the air and mingles rather well with some of the choruses coming from within the mosque. But eventually, Fumoshi and Eirene, you both begin to hear that clanging, that very heavy armored metal clanging. To both of you, it's familiar, but for different reasons. For Moshi, it's familiar to you because it is the sound of chainmail, it's the sound of various interconnected rings just clanging against each other. It's a very distinct sound. But it seems a little bit disjointed. Maybe some of the rings are broken, or the armor is old or rusted, because it's not a very clear sound. It feels a little bit rough. But Irene, this is a rather ominous sound to you. Always has been, given your rather brief experiences with it and your very violent experiences with it. But you begin to see this figure.
I mean, Irene will probably, like, not really necessary, but will tell Fumoshi that someone has arrived.
He's accompanied by this man.
Oh boy.
Fumoshi kind of he stands up, leaning on his stick. Very evident the man is blind, but he bows in their very vague general direction.
Curtsy!
Herman will bow before you. Tabris will follow Herman's lead. He doesn't really like a lot of the formalities associated with noble behavior. They seem very. They always come across as empty rhetoric to him, but he will do it anyway. It's rather slight and a bit curt. But yes.
Can I roll intelligence clan lore to identify who Tabris' sire is?
Yeah, one sec. Actually, I might have to look this up.
And meanwhile, Irene will be doing official introductions because, that's a thing, and she is, after all, a harpy, and etiquette will always, always be a thing.
If it's standard difficulty, I have 5 successes to know who sire is. If it's higher, 7, I have 4 successes to know who his sire is.
Yes. You know Samael's sire to be Rothriel, who is the child of Ezrael, child of Samael. Rothriel in particular is noteworthy because he was the lover of your sire, Matael.
Ah, so we as a matter of fact spring from the same blood. We are members of the same bloodline if we consider Ezrael to be our common.
Yeah, you have a common grandsire. Although your actual sires are different. You're blood cousins more than you are blood siblings.
Hello, gentlemen. It is a pleasure to greet you both. Yes, that is correct.
I did not expect a member of my own blood to challenge me. That is somewhat disheartening, to be honest.
Challenge. He stops. Sorry, his head kind of tilts because he knows that somebody else is there. Physically, obviously, he doesn't want to open his third eye unless he really, really has to. But he doesn't know who the other person is, so he just kind of looks at Irene and he goes,
Irene did full introductions. She introduced Herman, she introduced Tabris, and she introduced Fumoshi to both of them.
Yeah, Herman will have introduced himself upon Irene's gesture. He is quite Herman, for the record. Irene looks quite surprised, pleasantly surprised, also a little bit amused.
What, to see her, or
Yeah,
Yeah. Irene is not afraid to meet his eyes, that's all I'm saying.
Master Herman, yes? A pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lord.
A pleasure. A shame it could not have been held under better circumstances.
No. He turns to the vague direction of Tabarus and he says, challenge is an interesting phrase, cousin. You have endured much pain, and I feel your pain. But what you're doing in your heart, you know isn't right. So, I'm standing here to try to reason, to plead, let you see, and come back to the path that it is still within your heart to walk.
I can understand, and I do empathize with your plea, brother, but I am no longer I no longer possess the luxury of such choices.
He squeezes Irene's hand because he hasn't let go of it. And he
I,
says, when Gabriel the Merciful looked upon Cain, he gave him a choice, and he gave him the concept of absolution, though the Dark Father never followed. You always have a choice. You can always find your way home. The light is never dim, and the door is always open.
then I will tell you of the two choices, the two only meaningful choices that I have made during my time here, during those long 30 years. Feels like 300. When I came here, similar to now, I was on a warpath. After several months, I was brought into this treaty Prince of Time had constructed for our bloodline and the usurpers. I'll be honest, that was the biggest mistake in all 400 years of my life. It only allowed the usurpers to entrench themselves further and slowly whittle and grind us down. build up their own power base and allow their own actions to go unchecked. Kidnapping and the creating of stone slaves being just one. And numerous violations to each other, I can only assume, behind the scenes. The simple fact is that I have lived through peace. At least with them. And I did try. I really did. I listened to the Assamites and Abraham. I'm not going to pretend that I liked it. I didn't. But nothing changed. In fact, one could be hard-pressed to call it a treaty. It was more like a ceasefire. Meanwhile, our clan is still being hunted across the world. I think most of us have cleared out of Europe at this point. There are a few of us left in Accra, if I recall. But I don't think we're going to be able to stay there for very long. Not if something doesn't change. And soon.
I quite agree, brother. But do you know why the usurpers were able to so easily destroy a clan that has existed since Enoch stood? The answer is because, yes, they killed the dragon. But when our Lord died, we fell upon one another. The warriors who are meant to protect those who healed and solved the wounds of man. We became so angry that all we could think of was revenge. We formed a rift between brothers, between those whom were the blood of Saulot, to the point where it was like a mirror shattered. And there was so much glass, so many tattered souls and rent emotions. Our clan, brother, can survive. We can march forward, but we cannot do so with only avarice and hate in our hearts. If we wish to survive and lose what we stood for, then the Salubri are already dead. But if we can stand united as a single whole, if we can heal the wounds between us and the various different castes, if we can come together, then we survive, but we also thrive.
I would very much appreciate it if our clan could stand united again. But from my perspective, it was the healers that refused to fight for the clan that was endangered. I can understand that predicament. Because I'm in it. I've had to lower myself to combat this threat, and it is not something I'm proud of. It's not something any of us are proud of. And I don't just speak for myself or other Salubri. He actually looks to Irene. We are not as callous as the Princeton would have you believe.
I know.
As cruel as our actions have been, it is not natural for us to embrace on such a scale, particularly just to send those very Chalder to fight our wars. It is not something I take pleasure in. But neither can I allow the usurper's actions to go unabated. We have reached a point where we are facing down the sword of extinction, where every other clan has watched and stood by as we have died by the hundreds, the thousands. I have seen so many of us die. I just don't want to see more.
Irene is fuck it, why not? She's walking forward and she is going to actually kneel down in front of Tabris. I am very aware of your pain. I may not be able to fully understand what you've gone through, but to a certain extent, I can feel it almost as my own. I have seen some of it, I will admit. And for what it's worth, I may be young and I don't hold a lot of sway, either within my clan or within the city, but I will apologize for my part in this. And I hope you will forgive me.
I can. The fact that you're up and about so soon shows that you have a good heart. I'm surprised, though. Al-Taib did leave quite a number on you. You're stronger than I gave you credit for.
I've had the honor of receiving help from one of your clanmates again. Second time in my short life so far.
For what little consolation it is worth, and I understand it is worth very little. You are not the sort of person we are after, nor were you our intended target.
I know. But I stand with Fumoshi's wish to try and find a peaceful solution to this predicament. I hope you understand that.
Peace was attempted. There are two problems with that idea. One is that the one enforcing that peace can stand against threats to it from both within and without, and well, it is rather unsurprising to me, if I'm completely honest. But the peace fell apart not due to the actions of either side, but to the actions of completely outside irrelevant parties. The second problem, of course, is that peace has to, well, it has to allow for the prosperity of both sides, and if you've seen our feeding grounds, it certainly wasn't prosperous for us. And the third problem is that it had to be just. And it wasn't. Usurpers have not only stolen our blood, but the blood of other clans. They did nothing to earn their place here. They had no interest in asking forgiveness or stopping. It was just another step on their road to power. That's all it ever was.
And yet, here within Edessa, you have said that they have committed many sins. As it may be, they have made things monsters, as you call them, from stone and blood. That is as it is. Ultimately, brother, they have sown the seeds of their own destruction. I cannot give you victory in this war, because I do not believe that our clan should fight this war. We need to be united. We need to build a new heartland. We have lost Europe, so we will move east and south. There will always be those who need healing, who need their wounds seen to, who need some semblance of care and affection to wipe away the pain. But not only that, brother. The one thing I can give you, the one thing above all else that I can give you, is hope. Because I sense that it's been a very long time since you've had hope. We will not go into the night. We will not be forgotten. I sense that you're afraid that we will be.
I have sometimes thought about moving away from this place. It has only caused me misery. That has always been the nature of our existence as warriors. War is never a kind thing. It has always been miserable. Your ideas, well, while many parts of me wish to join you, and I do wish you luck in them, it leaves aspects of my own existence and the existence of our entire caste unresolved. There will always be those that need healing, but sometimes a disease must be purged. And not only this, but what of our own role within the children of Cain to defend mortals from the excesses of others, and the young from the excesses of their elders.
And in that statement, brother, you have set children upon the people. Their blood is on your hands. I He extends his hand and he says, I ask you once and for the last time to put aside your hate. I beg you. You are a child of Samael, sworn and blooded by the code, as I am. We take on the name of angels so we can better aspire to be them. Lay down your hatred. Help me build a better future for all of us. Please. You know what? I feel like now I should actually roll some dice.
Mm, yeah, sure,
I
go
feel like this is
ahead.
would you prefer leadership or expression?
Definitely expression.
Can I assist?
No.
I mean, it was worth a try.
Because of the nature of enchanting voice, use the words to persuade, charm, or command are reduced by 2. Do I get that little oof?
Yeah, difficulty is gonna be 7 because, like, I was gonna put a default 9 because you're trying to persuade him to do something that is he would pretty much never do. Like, this goes against everything he believes in. So
Oh yeah, no, absa, friggin' positively. I'm fine with that. So difficulty 7, I'm entirely fine.
yeah, and I'm gonna see you need a threshold of at least 5 because this is a really your.
Well, you never know. I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you almost get him. You get 3 successes, so it has an effect on him. Just it's just not going to cause him to join you completely.
That's fair. Basically, the logic is that if he says no, and he is about to say no, he'll say no very sadly, I sense. But Fumoshi is basically going to say what he is going to say, but continue. Bishop?
I cannot take your offer.
All I heard from that sentence was your offer, sorry.
I said, I'm afraid I cannot take your offer.
He nods very solemnly, and he then says, Then in the name of Samael, he who was our founder, for crimes against our blood and for crimes against this city, for crimes against the people, I challenge you to honorable combat.
One moment, please.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
If you cannot accept his offer, perhaps you can choose to watch, see what we can do within the city. To help your cause.
As far as I'm concerned, I am simply defending my clan from those that would destroy it and me. That has forced me to do some dark things. If you wish to help, I would not turn you down. But it is not within your right to turn down or to retract the challenge another has made.
I am aware of this. But I would ask you to. I cannot speak for my clan, but to let me help your clan. I owe it to them. and I want it.
I will leave that up to the one who has challenged me. We may fight here if they so wish. We may do it at any point in time that they wish, at any place, and I will be there to meet that challenge.
He smiles very sadly, and he says, "You and I will clash, Master Tabras, brother. Though I do not wish to do this, it breaks my heart to need to do so." You know what? Fuck it. For dramatic purposes, single blood tear down the left-hand side of his cheek. But he will say, "I cannot let you continue to hurt the innocent. I do not care for the usurpers. I do not care for the kindred of this city. They are faces that I don't know. But your actions have caused the people here to suffer. Your actions have caused heartbreak and pain.
So why has not sufficient action been taken against the usurpers? Why is it only now action is being taken? And why is it now that instead of fighting the true threat, while asking for a united clan, you turn on them? Me?
Because I will never turn my back on the people. And ultimately, your hatred has blinded you to them.
And much like the healers, your idealism has blinded you.
Fumoshi kind of he will say to Eirene, actually no, he will say to Tabris and Eirene, he will say, "Lady Eirene, what you said, did you mean it with the sincerity of your whole heart?"
Yes.
Master Tabris, you and I will clash, as I have said, for the... I fight as champion for the mortal souls of Edessa. But should I defeat you, I don't think I will. I don't know if I can. Those whom you have embraced by force or by in mass might be a better phrasing. I would ask your help, Lady Eirene, so that I can teach them the right way. So that their hearts are not filled with so much hate.
Of course.
He flexes his shoulders and he walks over and he picks up a long bundle that he's kind of left over against the wall. And for the record, you'll notice he's moving now with absolute certainty, like he knows where he's going. And when he turns back, his third eye is very much open.
Mm.
Basically he removes the wrappings around a long spear. He flicks it in his hands, basically making sure, testing the weight. Master Herman, I am led to understand that you are an entity of, how would I phrase this? You're a member of the clan of kings, yes?
I am.
And I also respect that you are a compatriot of my brother here in the form of Master Tabarus. I would ask that, though it may, I would ask politely that you not interfere.
He turns his head for a moment, looks back at you. I have learned of and respect your clan's particular code of conduct, but more importantly, I know a duel between honourable fellows when I see one, and you shall have it at my word that I shall not interfere. Should you wish me to leave this place entirely to secure that fact, I would not begrudge you for it.
I will always be happy to take the word of an honorable member of the clan Adventure. Once again, obviously, Irene, you know he's a shitbag. I have no idea.
I mean, Irene is there. She will be keeping an eye on things.
He kisses. He takes off a pair of jade Buddhist prayer beads from his sash, and he hands them to Irene. And he says, "Will you please hold these for me?
Of course.
If I should fall, they are very dear to me. Gather my ashes and bury me with them, somewhere where I can feel the breeze on my face."
As you wish.
He strides back. I'm just going to do some quick pre-combat blood spending so I don't have to fuck up the narrative. I can never fucking pronounce this thing. Is it red raw rend? It's ra ra ra, and I can never pronounce the fucking thing.
Rod raw rending or raw rod rending? I think it's raw rod rending.
Raw rending. It's fucking hard to pronounce as shit. That's one blood. As I sense that Tabarus is also going to do when two angels fight, he starts to sing, but he starts to sing that very specific song, Bishop.
Yeah, I assume you take those to a because this is gonna if keep in mind you're still at the front of a giant ass mosque. I assume you take this to a location where
I was assuming it was like so late at night that no one was in the mosque.
there is still a glow from the mosque, but
okay, yeah.
What Tabris does is he just starts using his enormous potence, just starts casually jumping up the mosque.
You know what? Fuck it. I will follow him. I don't have as enormous an amount of potence, but I will potence leap after. Are we going to fight on top of the mosque?
Yes.
That's suitably epic. Okay. Saskia, this could be the shortest lived character I've ever played. Hey, look.
Oh, God.
Dead in your second scene. Let's go.
I mean, luckily you only asked Herman not to interfere.
Oh, shit.
Well, keep in mind, Eirene, you actually come from a culture where dueling is a thing. You understand what the consequences are for interfering.
I know.
It doesn't just dishonor you, it dishonors the opponent. It dishonors their opponent as well.
I know. Don't worry. I wasn't gonna. I was just joking.
Why are you making Fumoshi a bad person now? What are you doing?
What are you doing? I'm so nice. Look at me being a little blind.
He was nice, and then I realized it, which now makes you bad.
I mean, you know me.
So I'll be back in just 2 seconds, guys. I just have to go to the bathroom and grab a drink, and then yeah, fuck it. I mean, as has been evidenced with my play. Yeah, no, literally just Saladrin's back. What happened? Oh, the character died. God fucking damn it.
Well,
I'll be back in just 2 seconds. Just need to go get a drink. You can socialize with Herman.
Herman,
Oh boy.
Herman just looks to you.
Irene looks back.
You know, we don't have a very good view from down here.
No, I agree.
Hmm.
You need help to get up there.
He smirks. I appreciate the offer, but no, I will be quite fine. I assume you will have no problems.
I am but a small lady from a tiny town in Greece.
A very small lady from a very strong clan.
Indeed.
Let us follow and observe, shall we?
Of course. Please. And
If
she'll
you
gesture
wish for me to
go ahead.
leave, I am happy to do so.
I have never wished for you to leave, sir.
Well, thank you. He'll just, no one's really passing by right now, so he just uses the opportunity to jump up.
I was going to say, Bishop, for narrative purposes, even if this fight is really short, can we say that for a narrative purpose that it's much longer than it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Because yes, it's it's Star. It's Vader versus Luke, but on top of a mosque. So
I mean, I won't believe that until I see the lightsabers.
Oh, you're about to. Hang on. I just need to do 1 or 2 more little bits of rolling just to get everything set up. Because this character actually comes with a crap load of prep, which is kind of weird. But
yeah, he'll allow you to prep. So does he. Standing on top of a mosque, Tabris's outline begins to glow rather brightly, giving off a soft golden aura.
he's doing the exact same thing I'm doing, but yes. Okay, so I have an extra 3 points of armor. So you know what? Just to be different, Fumoshi does the same thing, except his aura is vaguely silvery. So it's contrasting colors basically. So let me just do some quick mental arithmetic because I actually have to add this up. So his stamina is that. Oh, so that brings me down to 18 blood. His stamina is that. Rank 4 armor is 4 points of armor minus 2 dex, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so that's that plus 3. So that's 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so at the moment I'm rocking a lethal soak of 15. That's pretty baller. Is there anything else I need to pre-roll with him? For the record, just looking at Tabris, what kind of weapon does he tend to favor? Like, what? I have a spear. What does he got?
He's got a massive bastard sword. It should be noted in massive contrast to Fumoshi, who's quite small and kind of diminutive looking. Tabris is he is enormous. He's bulky. He's broad. He's well over a foot. He's probably a foot and a half bigger than you. Like he's actually he is just this massive, broad, hulking brute of a man in terms of size. He doesn't seem to be particularly weighed down. He does seem extremely dexterous. He seems very lithe despite his enormous size. It's actually a bit of an odd sight. It's kind of witnessing your strength despite being so small. He is very lithe and dexterous despite being so large.
Okay. So yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say she's technically bloodbound to me, so if I get torpid, this is gonna be interesting for all involved.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm actually just gonna double. Let's see. All right. Yeah. I think there's actually one last thing I need to check before we get started.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to double check it now. Okay. Yes, so Fumoshi unveils his spear, I assume.
He does this really weird. He basically does this. It's one of those very interesting kind of Asian style glaive spears. You know, it's got a very kind of wide blade at the top.
Yeah.
And what he does is he brings it round and basically drags it off the ground to generate a spark. At which point there is fire. I mean, it's probably only going to last like 3 turns at most, but it just looks fucking cool.
Yeah, it's only going to last a few turns because you'll burn through the fuel source pretty quickly because it's just scattered on the blade. But yeah, it will give you an advantage for the first few turns, and that you can delag.
All right. So from on top of the building, because we're standing right on top of the dome of the mosque. Because fuck it, why not? Let's make. Oh my god, it'd be so cool if one of us goes through the mosque.
Yeah, Herman and Eirene have kind of kind of stood all the way at the far end of the mosque as to observe. Herman kind of looks at the two as they glow and ready themselves because the roof is actually very large. He sort of he looks very stoic and respectful.
And Irene, for her part, looks as neutral as she can, which probably means that she will look sad, because that's something that she probably can't hide, because she's very sad of this. She didn't want this. No one wants this. For like sort of cinematic purposes, can I activate Obtenebration 1 and just kind of dim like the edges of the roof, so that, you know, if people are looking out towards the mosque, they don't see some kind of weird firework on the roof.
Sure, that will become irrelevant in 3.
Yeah.
1.
As they both activate Song of the Blooded and everything just goes straight to fucking hell.
This is like I said, would be more of like, you know, a little bit of a cinematic thing. Have just like swirls of shadow kind of surrounding the roof.
But Yeah. With that in mind, shall we do that thing where we roll initiative?
Yes.
Oh God, I'm gonna die. It's okay. YOLO.
Everything is fine as the initiative is rolled. Both Eirene and Herman are witness to an enormous flash of light that emanates from the eye of both figures, surrounding them both in two large halos as they both glow like the sun, almost blinding. It casts away your shadows almost instantaneously. They literally evaporate. As the mosque lights up as if it were noonday.
It's a sign from God. That's how we're
I
gonna.
was gonna say if I survive, that's how we're playing it, Eirene. Miracle.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
You're gonna need a miracle.
Oh, by the way, Irene will stand close to Herman,
Okay.
just in case, you know.
Hardman is just looking with respect as he just says as the initiative is rolled to Irene. You're witnessing history. And yeah.
So we immediately, sorry, I just have to get this right. We immediately jump to our generational maximums of our things.
Yes.
So that goes to Dex plus wits 10 plus. It's all good. It's all good.
All right. Yep. So you hit Dex 7, if I recall correctly.
Yep, so does he, because we're the same generation.
Yeah. Keep in mind your -2 from your armor does take away from your initiative roll, so just keep that in mind.
Yep. That's entirely fine. So that will be a total of plus 10. Ooh, 19.
Oh, that's actually really good. Let's see. Just trying to get this right. He gets 22.
Cool. He has the first turn.
Yes, and his first turn. As he looks, he gives a slight sly to you, a sly smile to you. As his blade is held very evenly. Then he angles it and will make a broad uppercut towards your spear as he is going to attempt to disarm you. He's spending for all the things. Let's just call it that.
I am going to attempt to parry him.
Okay.
I can. Yes, I can actually.
Okay. Do you want to declare any physical disciplines first?
Yeah. Ooh, really important question because this will determine what I do next. This does count as striking me.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. In that case,
Oh no, this doesn't. This doesn't. No, it doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, but it doesn't have.
Oh no, yeah. I'll say this is fair and it counts. Yeah.
Okay. This is the only way I win, Bishop, is if he hits me first. Literally the only way I win. But yeah. So in that case, what do I do? Yeah, because he has to achieve a number of successes equal to my strength plus my potence.
So he makes an attack roll, then he rolls a damage roll, and then he needs to do damage that exceed your strength dots, which does take into account your potence.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to disarm him, and yeah, I'm gonna spend. I'm only gonna spend for my celerity for this. For this round, because then that would mean I'll still have the 3 necessary on my turn to Samael's vengeance. Yeah, that's the plan.
because you'll need you'll need the extra action to use Samael's Vengeance on, because your parry will take up your first action, then you can use Samael's Vengeance and hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit him for all the things.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, he's also +2 diff to hit me, and I don't believe I'm at the +2 diff to defend myself, am I?
Let's see what parrying is. Successful. Well, actually, parrying is, I don't think, is actually even listed here. Maybe double checks the power real quick.
The difficulty of any attacks against the Salooper. Yeah, so the parry doesn't count.
Okay, yeah, then he's rolling a difficulty 9 because it's +2 +1 diff to disarm.
Oh shit! In that case, he's rolling a difficulty 10. Well, 9 + 1 rollover because my weapon is longer than his, and per the rules for reach, my spear basically gives me an extra +1 to be hit.
I think it's like sword. He's wielding like he's not wielding an arming sword. It's like it's a full.
Oh yeah, no. In that case, you're right. Cool.
Yeah. So his weapon's about even with yours. If it were an arming sword, I'd agree, but it is just a standard.
Yeah, you roll your thing, sir.
Okay. Christ Almighty. This is the one. This is kind of like for Exalted when you just have enormous dice pools and you have to math so hard.
It's fine, you know. We live life. Mistakes were made. Long live rock. The X-Bind would be 7 + 5.
He's going to do. Okay. Yeah. I know what he's rolling. Oh no! No, he rolls strength for this.
Oh, that sounds like that's worse. Okay.
It is a lot worse actually because he gets to apply his potence to that roll. Yeah, disarming is actually really busted with potence. I actually found this out just a week ago. I think that is. Okay, so he rolls 14. With 5 autos.
Nice.
Okay, so he actually gets 11 successes.
Okay, let's see how I do. Let's see how I do this. So it's 12. I get 12 dice. Oh shit! Do I have to counter with my strength, or do I counter with my dex?
Let me double check. This is important.
Yeah, because I was wondering if it filters in my potence or not, because I would get dice for my potence, admittedly, but
it's. No. Oh my god! I fucking hate the layout of this shit so much. No, he does. No. He rolls dex, but it's the same dice pool. So he gets 6 successes at difficulty 9. So he doesn't get the 5 autos.
okay, that's cool.
That's actually a lot. That's a lot better.
Ching! As I parry.
Nice.
Because yeah, this is going to be that kind of fight. But yeah, gracefully, with the kind of the crane stance, kind of, let's go full exalted on this bitch. Why the fuck not? He parries in midair the blow, and he brings his response will be he will say peace, brother. At which point he rams using Samael's vengeance his spear into Tabarus's chest, going for a heart strike.
Okay.
So I need to.
You're using the flaming weapon, right? Attacking his heart. What effect does that actually have?
What effect does the have?
If you're attacking it without wood, if you're not going for a stake,
Oh, no, it is a stake. Basically, the spear handle is wood, so he basically forces the spear through into the chest, and it will count for the staking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why fighting with a spear with vampires is really good, because you can force the metal bit through, basically.
Okay.
To go with the wood, because obviously this is the reason. Fun fact: this is the reason I didn't bid on the super spear at the auction, was because it wasn't made of wood.
Okay.
The half wasn't made of wood. So let's see how this one goes. Because hang on, because we have to do a whole bunch of arithmetic now. I apologize.
Yes, we do. 1 second. Samael's vengeance.
Samael's vengeance.
Any made by her strikes. So you don't actually roll. You just act as if you'd succeeded with all your dex plus melee.
Yeah, and it does 2 additional dice of damage. Armor only affords half its rating against the thing. Okay, so right, we have to do this. So
he has I'm gonna say real quick. He still has the opportunity to parry, and he has spent for celerity.
Okay,
so
yeah,
he will attempt to make the parry, which I think is the same roll, just a diff 6 because he's not attacking you this time.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yep. So how many successes do you get?
From my Samael's vengeance, 12.
Okay, he gets 9 successes, so you're reduced to 3 successes.
Wowzers! Okay, it's still
a hit.
Hmm?
It's still a hit.
Okay, so what's happening now is pretty interesting. So, okay, we have to do mental math. So I'm hitting him for damage. So the spear, because it's in 2 hands, does strength plus 3, right? At the moment, I've got strength 7, which means it goes from strength so strength plus 3 is 10 basic, plus my he did how much in his parry?
He got 9 successes.
So that's 2 rollover?
2 rollover, plus the extra 2 from Samael's vengeance, so that's plus 4.
So that means that's 14 damage, plus my potence, because I didn't spend for automatic successes.
Yeah.
So that's going to be 17 dice of damage? Yeah. Okay, now how this works is, because this is actually pretty important, so his soak gets halved because of Samael's, his armor soak gets halved because of Samael's vengeance. Then the Roll Rod Rending would kick in to take an additional 4 off his soak for his armor, and the spear has armor piercing 2.
Okay, let me okay. Yep. I've done the math.
Coolio. The math has been done. Let's see if we have a date with the home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 ag.
10 ag? I thought you were staking him.
I am, but the stake will do ag. Because it's a flaming spear.
Oh.
Flaming spear. Bam!
Well, that spear is going to be unusable after this combat.
I'm entirely fine with this.
1, 2,
if I survive
3,
this
4,
combat,
5,
I'm
6,
entirely fine
7,
with this.
8, 9, 10 ag. And you've negated most of his armor, if not all of it.
him staked.
Yeah, it is, but it will kill him in a single round unless you remove it because it's on fire.
Only some of it is. Basically, when he pushes through, the wooden part isn't on fire. So it'll basically be like...
If that's true, either it does aggro or it does lethal. Choose.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. I'll rip it out, or what he'll do is he'll push it through and break it, basically, so that there's still wood in his chest, but it's not flaming wood. And I actually have another celerity action, so he can do that. Basically, just go smash, so that there's still definitely wood in his chest. Wow, that sounded filthy. Hey, you got wood in your chest?
Okay.
So the mighty Goliath goes down, does he?
Yes, through the yeah, through from that enormous display of power, yes.
If it helps, you will see Fumoshi is kneeling, cradling him in his arms, and he is visibly sobbing. Like he is losing, I'm willing to lose 5 points of blood through crying.
Yes. You just kind of weep bloody tears over Samael's staked body, having pierced his heart and almost burnt it over completely.
This is one of his tricks he learned as an exorcist. Honest. Because you know what happens when you hit Bali with fire? Oftentimes nothing, which is a great way of telling if they're a Bali or not. But yeah, no, he is just weeping tears. Like you hear him, like he kind of holds his head back as the halo dissipates. So it's literally one. Wow, that's poetic. It's one angel holding another angel in their arms as his halo dissipates, and he just cries out. Like these are tears of pure rage and agony and pain, just echoing out over Justinopolis Mount. There you go. He is Bishop. You broke him. He is a broken man now. Sneef.
Herman looks onwards, in what was an absolutely brutal clash. He doesn't appear particularly upset, Eirene.
Eirene is gonna give Fumoshi some time for himself to, mourn, because that's the thing. And she will keep an eye on Herman, because now the duel's over, so basically...
Herman will begin walking over towards Fumoshi.
He will look up from where he kneels, still clutching the body.
Eirene is one step behind.
His third eye is still open, just an important point of reference.
He used to be a very arrogant and violent man. It was the one you hold now that changed that. He has done good in the world.
You're the
He is
man.
not... Oh, sorry.
So,
He'll just say, he is not entirely consumed by hate as you may believe.
you're the man who would be Prince of Edessa. Yes.
I would have actually declared Tabris Prince. He has done far more to earn it than I.
Do you believe in God, Master Herman?
I do, but I can no longer claim to understand God's intent, as some may do.
I did not strike down this man because of some politic. Because the prince will give me this or the seneschal will give me that. But because he hurt the people of this city. I don't care who rules the dirt, who rules the stones. I don't. But I ask you this, Herman of the clan of Ventrue, the clan of kings. I will take no more part in this conflict for this praxis. I don't care, one way or the other. I have done what I needed to do. I have satisfied the honor of my clan, and I've satisfied Samael's need for vengeance. But I would ask, Herman of Clan Ventrue, if you are victorious, if you win this conflict, that there be a place for my clan within your city. And I would ask that if you hold true to this, that you swear it before God, even if you do not understand his intentions. And in exchange, as I say, I will take no further action against you. None whatsoever.
Herman looks down at Tabris. And then he looks back to you. Then I swear upon God. On the sanctity of my word and my blood. That should I, Herman, elder of Clan Ventrue, arise victorious from this praxis war, there shall always be a place for the clan of healers and the children of Salot within Odessa. He will unsheath his sword, and he will simply place it on the ground next to you and Tabris, and he will say, "Until my oath has been fulfilled." I shall raise no such arm against you, and I shall fight with no weapon in hand. even against those I would seek to destroy.
Looking down and kind of, you know how Tabarus wears a chainmail coif like he's pictured with.
Mm-hmm.
Fumoshi raises his hand and he basically moves it down so that his hair is visible,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of stroking his head, stroking his hair, and he says, "I have heard your words, and I hope that God too hears them. I will not kill my brother. I don't have it in me to do so. He has done wrong, and now he shall sleep. He shall sleep until he awakens, until I awake him, when this is a happier time in a better world. Because he cannot be right. And if he is right, then we are lost. But I will hold you to your word, Master Herman. And if this city becomes a place where my clan can once again find safety and home, then you are a man of true noble ideals who is worthy to sit upon the prince's throne." Actually, how's Irene looking right now?
No.
She looking sus as fuck?
No. She's just following this and trying to get any expression away from her face as much as possible. But if anything, there's a slight hint of relief there.
Herman is sort of a long blink. And you've given your name as Fumoshi, yes?
Mm-hmm. Oh, is he asking me that in character?
No. It's just you've already introduced yourself to him, yes?
Yes, as Fumoshi.
Thank you, Fumoshi. I hope that in time the wounds here tonight may one day heal. And that you are right, and that one night your clan may once more be prosperous here. He looks a bit reminiscent when he says that. But I shall intrude upon your mourning no further. May the night be kind to you. Kinder than it was tonight.
And the same unto you. Always find the place. Always find your home before the dawn, Master Herman.
And he will nod. He'll turn away, leaving his sword behind. Yeah, he will walk past Eirene, but will stop when he reaches her.
Irene will curtsy, because why not? Always room for etiquette.
You understand the importance of this moment.
I wonder if anyone who's not of their clan will ever fully understand it. It's not my place to understand.
But many no longer wish to. I hope I can do both of them justice one night.
We shall see. Cannot look in the future.
Tell Seneschal I shall take no more action against the clan of La Sombra, unless one of you should strike against one of us directly, and even then, we will no longer strike against the whole of your clan. If you could impart that message to him.
There's a slight snigger as to, oh god, I have so much to explain if I'm going to pass this message on. But Irene will nod. I shall.
Thank you. I will not give him credit.
I beg your pardon?
The Tremere will want her ashes. Take good care of them. The strongest they have been, they'll need more than their blade arm. Stay safe, Lady Eirene.
And you too. May the nights be kind.
And my apologies for Al-Taib's actions against you.
It is not you who should apologize for that, and it is not him either. Things happened.
Never a quiet night in the era of a new millennium. And with that, he will simply drop off the back of the mosque, and it will land completely unharmed.
Did he do a superhero landing?
No, it's just very casual. He just lands, leaving a small Herman-sized crater where he lands, and simply walks out of it, and begins walking off.
Fumoshi eventually, it'll probably take him about another 5 minutes of cradling before he'll be Deus capable of movement. And what he does is he has plenty of blood. He will blood buff he'll blood buff his strength to its generational max, so up to 7. And he is going to lift Tabarus up. Because obviously you pointed out Tabarus is a big guy and he's wearing a lot of heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
I assume with strength 7, I can just kind of
Oh
hoist him.
yeah. With strength over 5, you can trivially lift him, no problem. It's not even hard. He's actually quite light at that strength level.
And he just kind of turns to Eirene and he says, "I will find somewhere to bury him, because there will come a day where there will be a happier world, and I want him to see it."
The church that I've mentioned to you earlier, there is a safe room underground. if you wish.
That seems good. Will you do me the... I have made my deal with Herman, but this means I must make my arrangements with the current prince. I will have it so that my clan will be safe here. Will you inform them that Tabarus has been killed, or has been dealt with, and that they should feel free to give the etc. I will use, I believe you call them boons in the West. I will use them in order to safeguard my clan's safety for now.
I will pass on the word.
Thank you, Eirene. Yeah, he, you know what? Before he does the blood buffing and would crush her, he hugs Eirene, and he hugs her very, very close.
I mean, Irene can hug back with potence. That's fine. No.
Yay!
Sweet.
Are
I
Potence
healing
hugs
hugs.
are Potence hugs the huggiest hugs?
But yeah, no, and Irene will lead him to the Riverside Church.
We're probably going to do that. This hopping buildings because like we do have a corpse, you know, in Ireland. So yeah, that would. Bishop, how badly did we fuck the silence by going Super Saiyan?
Don't worry, I have religious influence. This was a sign of God.
Oh God, okay, that's how this is
Yeah,
going down.
if Irene or either one of you just kind of peeks out in front of the mosque, there is a massive fucking crowd gathered.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Actually, Bishop. Actually, hang on, Bishop. I have a really weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Considering what my character is and what he's famous for, if I give Tabarus to Irene and walk downstairs,
You're on
can
the
I do?
roof. There are no stairs.
Okay, well, if I climb down, as in an ordinary person climbing down, can I blag? I fought a demon, yo, and I won.
Of course, you will have to brag about being a blind man that successfully climbs down off a like 10-story building first day.
That would be sad. No, no, we're running away. Running away is the plan.
Remember that whole blind man thing? Yeah, remember that?
My inability to eyes. Yes.
Yeah, the inability to see kind of botches that whole plan, but you were close.
It's fine. Yeah, no, we will potent sleep away.
This is fine. We're potent sleeping to the church where my priest is that is tied to my influences, so I can immediately instruct that guy to go and do a thing and cover up a potential breach.
I mean, to be fair, they blood hunted the guy. When you blood hunt someone, they basically say, "Hey, you know what? You can go loud. It's okay." Within reason.
Like I said, it's covered up. Ugh.
Yay!
Like this is sort of what Irene is useful for. You know?
Yeah. You know what? At some point, when I get like enough influences, whatever, I'm gonna have a nice tomb made for Tabers, so he has somewhere nice to be.
Hmm. Yes, but as you both try to escape,
Oh my god.
fortunately, the back of the mosque is it still has people there, but you can probably find a place to jump off or climb down. Actually, I'm gonna say no. I'm not gonna make you roll over it. But
Yes, please don't make me roll stealth.
I mean, can't you
don't do
literally
stealth.
turn into Tenebrous Shadow and just disappear anyway?
I mean,
I
yes.
think the
but
only
no.
person who'd actually be in trouble here would be Fumoshi, who apparently got lost on a roof and then exercised something on the roof. Apparently,
Totally,
but,
that's how that works. Hmm.
yes. Yes, as you escape using respective manners, either using Prudence or Tenebration, we shall end the scene there with everybody departing from the site of this great duel that took place on top of Justinopolis, as one more warrior of the Salubri clan has been put to rest. But perhaps a mercy to many, or rather a mercy to him, which has not been granted to many of the clan. He is still remembered. And I think we can end the scene there. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching, and we'll see you all next time as Fumoshi alpha strikes one of the main antagonists in his second scene. Fuck life.